and welcome to this Video Sans Frontières video. My name is Jay Wakefield, and today we're going to be talking about running classic Mac apps under OS X. Now, on PowerPC Macs that are running Mac OS X, generally you can actually install the classic environment alongside it to actually be able to run all of your older apps. Now, normally this should be quite a simple task. You just kind of boot from the OS 9 CD and install it, or install it onto it, or you can dual boot it, what have you, or kind of have it run as a virtual machine, if you will, under OS X. Now, unfortunately for the newer machines like the like this iBook G3 Snow Edition, or the the G4 series of machines, the ones that came with OS X, they actually need specific OS 9 disks to be able to install properly. Or do they? I've actually been able to figure out how to install Mac OS 9. I mean, obviously I can't boot to it because, I've tried doing that, I've had problems with it, but I've actually been able to find a way where I can actually boot into the classic environment under OS X to be able to install and run older Mac OS 9 apps. So we're going to do that now. First thing I'm going to need to do is copy the system folder over to the hard drive. Now, this shouldn't be too much of a hardship. All I really need to do is go into the OS 9 CD and then just copy the system folder over. Now, in OS 9 it's called system folder, and in OS X it's just called system. So the two folders can quite happily coexist together. Now, I'm not sure if it's this CD or whether it's another one, but some versions of Mac OS X, the system folder, the system folder will not start up. It'll just turn around and say, look, it needs to, actually needs to, well, you need to install OS 9 before you can, and rather than just kind of starting up from a system folder copied from the CD. Other versions of OS 9, they will quite happily let you copy the system folder to the hard drive and just kind of boot to that. So this is just going to copy. It's going to take a couple minutes. Now, there is an advantage. I mean, generally, I usually like to run operating systems natively if I can help it. But actually, with System 9, there are advantages to running it with an OS X. You see, the apps, OS 9 apps will run happily alongside OS X apps. Just, as Windows apps will quite happily run alongside OS X apps under VMware Fusion if you have Unity mode enabled. Now, what this essentially means is I can actually use the OS X accessibility features to actually get it all running. Well, I can actually use the OS X accessibility features with my OS 9 apps. And the magnifier, the zoom feature in OS X is a lot better than close view in OS 9. It's a lot smoother, and it just works a lot better. Anyway, the system folder is now copied, so I need to actually go to my system preferences. Right, okay, now there is no classic option here at the moment, but that's quite easy to, that is actually quite easy to solve, because what I can do is I could actually just start up a Mac OS 9 application, and that will then prompt the classic environment to start up. Now what I usually like to do, it's saying that this version of QuickTime installed in Mac OS 9 system folder is used by Classic is not recommended. That's fine. Classic cannot update the files in the system folder on PowerBook G4 install CD because the disk is read-only. Now, I am aware I'm using the PowerBook G4 version of OS 9.2.2. You know, this should work absolutely fine. Right. Can't use a system folder on the G4 CD, but now it has prompted me to go into the preferences, which are now there. See, Classic. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a system folder for Classic. We're actually going to use the system folder that I actually just installed. So let's start this up. Now we'll need to actually update the files. Now what we can do is show the OS 9 startup window. Right, now the software on the startup disk only functions on the original media, not if copied to another drive. That's not a problem. I had a feeling that that would be a problem on this particular OS 9 disk. We can actually still use it though. We can actually still use that particular OS 9 disk. We've just got to use the we've just kind of got to use the system folder from another OS 9 disk just for the time being. So if you'll bear with me one moment, I will actually get hold of another disk now and I'll copy the system folder over. So now I'm using a vanilla macOS 9.2.1 CD. You know, and with that, I'm actually just copying the system folder over now. So that should copy. Now, you'll notice I have a folder called derp here. Now, unless I mean, I could just restart the Mac and try and delete the system folder then, the old one. But I decided simply to rename it, as it will let me rename it, but it won't let me delete it. I'm guessing that will all change as soon as I actually copy this system folder over, because I'll have to actually tell Classic to use the system folder I'm copying rather than the system folder that I've already copied. Sorry, that I know that sounds completely complicated and just, yeah. I'm just gonna, there we go, just righted the monitor. Okay, so that is the system folder copied. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into System Preferences, go to Classic. Oh, and while I'm here, I want to show Classic in the menu bar, so I can actually see what's going on. Right, now Macintosh HD, I've got two system folders. I've got System Folder and I've got derp. Going to select System Folder. And now we're going to try starting it up. Yep, and I'll let it update the files. Yep, I think this is actually going to work. Now, this is not actually going to show macOS 9 in a window. It's just going to kind of show it starting up, and then this box will disappear, like it has done now. So the classic environment is now set up and running. And hopefully I should be able to delete this one. Yep, I can. So, I guess I've learned here that you can copy the system folder from a generic disk. But you can't copy it from a specific disk. But believe it or not, we can actually install Mac OS X from a disk. Well, we can actually install Mac OS 9 from a system disk that's specific to a G4 on this machine, which is a G3. So let's go and do that just now. Here we go. It's setup has started. So all I actually need to do is double click on Mac OS install. As you can see, the installation is starting. Now the reason I'm actually installing it, even though I've copied the system folder, is so I can actually have a full installation rather than just a kind of a bare bones system folder. That should help my applications to actually run better. So I'm just going to click continue here to actually install it. Have a look at the options. I want to perform a clean installation. And before I install, blah blah blah. Do I agree? Now, I think I'm going to do some customization. So I don't need Apple remote access, and I don't need personal web surfing. I will take text to speech and color sync. And now I can just go to continue. Now it's updating the disk drivers. Now this won't affect how my installation of OS X starts up and runs, but it will enable the OS 9 system to actually run under the classic mode. Now you'll notice that I am installing OS 9 on the same hard disk as OS X. Again, that can be done, but it will only work if I just run it under classic within OS X like I'm doing now. If I were to try and start up into Mac OS 9, I couldn't do it. It just wouldn't let me. If I had a Mac OS 9.2.2 CD that was specific to this Mac, then I could actually go ahead and run. I could actually go ahead and dual boot it and actually be able to run OS 9 natively, which would be nice. Except, I really find OS 9 quite difficult to see. So it's nice that I'm able to actually go and zoom in. So what this is doing now is installing OS 9. So best thing that I could do is go away and have a cup of tea. Okay, so Mac OS 9 has nearly installed. Says it's got less than a minute to go. I am going to zoom in so I can actually see what I'm doing on the screen. I do very much like the way that OS 9 and OS 10 can very well integrate. Apple did a really good job of that. Right, now it says the installation process is finished. Click Restart to use your new software. Click Continue to install other software. Right, well I'm actually going to restart here. Now this does not mean it's a way to restart my actual computer, it's just restarting the classic environment. So again, as you can see, it's actually a way to restart. Oh, version of QuickTime installed is not the correct one, doesn't like it. And once again, I need to actually update the files in the system folder. This should be the last time I need to do it though. Welcome to Mac OS. I can actually go ahead and hide this now. I don't need to show that. And what we have is the new system folder, which has been marked with the number 9. And then OS Applications Mac OS 9. So I'm actually going to delete the previous system folder. There we go. Now, the macOS Setup Assistant is up. Welcome to the macOS Setup Assistant. Based on your answers to a few questions, this assistant makes some basic settings on your computer and sets it up so that you can share files over a local network. This assistant starts with some questions about yourself, where you are, and how you plan to use this computer. Okay, that's good. I'm actually in... Which set of formats do I prefer to use? I'd say British. What is my name? I'm Jay Wakefield. What's my organisation? Just say... Yep. Am I currently observing daylight saving time? Yes, I am. Select Edinburgh, Scotland from here. Do I want to use the simple Finder preferences in the Finder? No, I don't. Excellent. Local network. J Wakefield iBook. Okay. Type the password in. Shared folder. Do I need a... Actually, yeah. Let's have a shared folder. Now ready to do make basic settings in your computer system software and set it up to use on a local network. Go ahead. And then I've got this to turn on Apple Talk, open network preferences and click Apple Talk. Let's set it up. Excellent. Okay, I think it's actually done. Now what I will do is I'll copy I'll actually copy Applications macOS 9 over to the sidebar. There we go. And then we can actually run OS 9 applications. So let's have a wee crack at Internet Explorer, see if that actually runs. Would you like to set Internet Explorer? No. This is an old version. You can later import your set Netscape bookmarks. Application Airport is not supported by Classic. I wonder if I can go to Space Jam. Space Jam website that's still from 1997. Don't know what the address is, so See if I can go into Google. Yes, I can. Google still seems to work, sort of. Space Jam. Aha! Warner Brothers, Space Jam. Server could not be found. That's because it's racist. But, there you have it, folks. An old version of Internet Explorer on the interweb. Oh, who remembers when the search button used to look like that on Macs? Oh, wow. But yeah, I mean, there you have it. Now that I've done that, and that was very fun, what I think we should do now is, well, there's a couple things that need done. Actually, a bit of housekeeping. The sun's coming out. Looks like it's a beautiful sunrise out there because there's a building kind of glowing reddish. Now, I'm going to copy some applications over and set them to run. Okay, so the first thing I need to install is a newer version of QuickTime for OS 9. So welcome to QuickTime 6, let's install that. And the only reason I'm installing this is because Classic said that it needed it, so just going to install the recommended stuff. And this QuickTime installer routine does bring back a lot of memories. Believe it or not, of the 2001 custom built. And yes, this is the Mac version of QuickTime 6, but the installation routine was extremely similar in Windows. But having it on a Mac is, yeah. So there are a couple of fun wee applications that I want to show you. Just to kind of show you that this is working. Come on. There we go. And once again, it's telling me I need to restart the machine. But again, it's actually just going to go ahead and restart the classic environment. And I won't get that, and I shouldn't get that annoying pop-up anymore. See, I liked Apple back in the day because it did actually used to make it so that, alright, here's the QuickTime settings screens. Right, my internet connection is it's LAN. Then I'll just finish. There we go. Now, I liked it because Apple made it really quite easy to transition back in the day. You know, it wasn't like it is today. I mean, you had things like Rosetta. Rosetta was a brilliant piece of software that allowed you to run PowerPC apps under on an Intel Mac. You know, and then you had Classic on PowerPC, Macs running OS 10, so you could run your old OS 9 apps. Obviously, well, you couldn't get Classic on Intel Macs. So let's actually play the sample movie. See if we can actually drag it into QuickTime. Oh yeah, this is my favourite movie. Upgrade to QuickTime 7. Right. Instead, I will open the movie in a new player. I'm going to go to Macintosh HD, Applications OS 9, QuickTime, and Sample Movie. And yes, that does bring back memories as well. Excellent. Now it's time for me to actually get a favourite application of mine. Extracted. Yeah, and for some reason I stupidly tried to get some bin files running under extracted under disk utility, and now it doesn't seem to want to acknowledge stuff at Expander as the default application. I guess I'll have to. I don't know actually. I wonder if there's any options within StuffIt to actually do that. Let me just have a wee look actually. StuffIt Expander. Let's have a look at the preferences. Destination, watch folder, error reporting, version check, internet. Joining, disk images, destination. Nope, doesn't seem to have an option to, in this program to actually associate all extensions. I guess what I could do, well, certainly for the 99 Bottles app, I'll have to kind of set that. Right. So 99 Bottles, what I want to do with that is actually just throw that straight into the OS9 folder. And
99 bottle of beer on the wall. 99 bottle of beer. Take one down, pass it around. 99,999,900,000.
Let's try this again.
99 bottle of beer on the wall. 99 bottle of beer. Take one down, pass it around. 9,999,999,999,998 bottle of beer on the wall. 9,999,999,999,998 bottle of beer on the wall. 9,999,999,999,998 bottle of beer. Take one down, pass it around.
Yeah, you get the idea. This is the sort of app that you wouldn't want the kids to use. I only have it on here just to, have a laugh with it from time to time. Now, another Power PC, another classic Mac app that I think I'm going to start is something that you do actually quite often see in my videos. So if you give me a moment, I will just insert the CD-ROM here. Fatty Bear's birthday surprise. And it's going to ask me to switch to 256 colours. Right. I'm going to hide the desktop, I think. Yeah, I know the music is terrible.
Good night, Kayla.
Good night, Dad. Tomorrow's my birthday, and Mom and Dad will have a big surprise for me. Good night, Fatty Bear. You be good. I love you, Fatty Bear.
There's a lot of work to do before Kayla wakes up. I want to make her a big, beautiful birthday cake. Oh, will she ever be surprised?
I better get busy too. I've got a lot of decorating to do.
We know! We know!
For her bulletin board.
Oh, Gretchen, that sounds wonderful. I need to go to the kitchen and make Kayla's birthday cake.
Factor, would you like some help making the birthday cake? I'm a heck of a cleaner-upper.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Matilda Rabbit. That would be nice.
I must admit, it is very nice to see this game in colour. The mouse pointers are different on this game as well. Oh, and don't mind the dock, it seems to want to change colour. Let's see if I can... So we've went from a machine that's too old to run it to a machine that's too new to run it. Oh wait, no, I didn't want to play the piano. Oh wow.
This looks like the place to bake Kayla's birthday cake.
Hi, Fatty Bear. I'm here to help with the cake.
Thank you, Matilda Rabbit.
So there you have it. It's a bit of Fatty Bear. I think I'm going to Command and Q out of this. And then macOS has changed itself back to full true color mode. So I would say that that will do it for this video on installing the classic environment from an all-purpose CD. Now some of you will be wondering why I didn't choose to install macOS Classic from the CD that I'd copied the system folder from. Well, the G4 CD slightly newer. Whoops. So that's kind of what I went with. Anyway, this does seem to have actually worked quite well. So thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed watching it and you liked what you saw, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. Also, please feel free to like Videos on Frontier on Facebook. But until then, thank you for watching my video, and I hope you all join me for my next one.